the DJ realm was a masculine dominated thing.
I knew that I had to get out or it was gonna be a problem. We go all the way back before I was Roxy Cottontail.
Hey there, it's me, Roxy Cottontail. You might know me as a DJ, artist, designer, and New York City party promoter, or from my bunny logo. I'm putting all that on the table and writing about the years that transformed music and the New York City scene. I've interviewed 250 friends and colleagues I admire. I ask all and reveal all. Please join me in the tales to rediscover the 90s and the Y2K magical landscape of music, art, technology, and streetwear. This is Roxy's Tales.
Like this transition of my life from me not being so much a tour DJ and really focusing in on becoming like a world famous producer. Like I miss DJing so much sometimes, but I just don't have the access to like being in a place to be around it anymore because my friends don't throw parties and like it just exactly it's just a whole new generation. Exactly. So
well, I want to get into it, but first I want you to introduce yourself for the record.
Yes. For the record, my name is Emmanuel Nickerson, aka Million Mano, aka DJ Mano, aka Call Me Mano, aka Mano.
Join me on Roxy's Tales this week as I sit down with my dear friend, one of the 4 platinum producers in Chicago and all-around legend, Million Mano. My adoration for Mano goes back to 2007 when his remixes took off online and straight into the club. By 2008, he was DJing for me at Sway, then Marc Jacobs, MIA, and Kanye. The list is extensive. Go down the rabbit hole of history with Mano and me as we dissect his remixes, which thrived by blending indie rock, Baltimore club, electro, and juke into a sound that shaped the scene.
You know, there's a lot that comes with that because at the end of the day, I will say this, Roxy, there's only 3 diamond producers in Chicago, Illinois, including myself.
Oh, listen to the 2.
Yes, indeed. I was like, whoa. And it's so crazy to be on a list with Quincy Jones, though. I'm like, dang.
You're a superstar. So, and I
thank you, Rox.
I'm good.
No, real talk. If anything, man, y'all gotta understand, like, Roxy is my G forever, always been a huge supporter. And likewise, I've been with every endeavor that she's done when we like just got shit cracking. Like it was crazy. Like even in the scene, before I actually made a name for myself, like Roxy was super established. And I was always just seeing her parties and everything that she was doing. And I was like, damn, man, who is this white girl that all the black people fuck with? Like, they really fuck with her. And when I got to know you, I seen why. I was just like, she's just such a genuine person and just loving and super sweet, super talented. And when you are all of those things, you do have a place for people to recognize you and be like, yeah, we want to celebrate you and put you there. So that's why I even seen like how you just had like this like super dope appeal to like New Yorkers. Like they was like Roxy is New York, so we gotta rep her. Listen, Pharrell said this too. Like it's cool, we can always be players, but you want to always be a coach. And I feel like even people like me and you, like we always gonna have a place in the zeitgeist because not, like I said, not only are we good players, but we're incredible coaches.
Yep. Amen.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Even you being who you are and having your relation to like Claw and Hell's Bells, like, you know, you were on the cusp of women empowerment because you were doing a lot of shit in a place where you were the minority. And that's what I always respected about you. Like, I'm like, man, Roxy a woman, but she respected like a dude in these rooms. And like, not to say that women don't get that, what do you call it? It's that mutual respect, but it's in a place of saying like, you know, the DJ realm was a masculine dominated thing, you know, and it still is to a degree.
You know, when Sway started 2004,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron was the one who said, you know, I want to do this Monday night party at Sway because they already had Smith Morrissey night going on for like almost a year. And it wasn't really well attended, but like the right people were going. And so he was like, I want to do the same thing on Mondays. And I was like, okay, give me once a month. And I had Girl on Girl, which was the all-female DJ night. I have some other flyers here. This was, I think, my second gig, because my first gig in Chicago was at Sonotech. Right? The aquarium. It felt like I was DJing in an aquarium.
Yeah, Sonotech. So Sonotech had like one of the most like just high-end sound systems like in Chicago.
You mentioned Rehab as being like one of the early, I guess, precursor to Bloghouse, or
yes.
And then what other nights were there in Chicago?
So even before Rehab, I'm gonna have to really, really put you on. There was this girl, her name was Killer Chris. And Killer Chris was from Kansas. She went to school with me and at Columbia, and I went to Columbia for 2 years. Oh, wow. That's a whole different story. Like, I went to school.
I didn't even know that.
When I met her, she was working at this club called Funky Buddha Lounge, and I ended up living above this club like almost for a decade.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I lived above this club. And so me and her became super cool friends. And this is like when Diplo went on to do what he was doing, and Low B was just chilling before he started DJing for MIA. And it was so crazy because she had this company called Avant Trill, and Avant Trill was her promotions company. I started DJing for her and doing these parties that she was doing. But before she started doing her parties, her friend named Jillian, she's like the top goth, like lesbian leader of like the awesome like lesbian scene in Chicago. Like, she literally is like the fucking head bitch in charge. And she threw this party at Funky Buddha Lounge every Tuesday. And it was actually a gay night. And it was so crazy. Nigel was friends with her, and he would DJ the night sometimes, because this was when Nigel wasn't like a really good DJing like he is now. Like, so she would let him like play like an earlier set or whatever. But like the people who was even DJing that party, they weren't like legitimate DJs until like she was booking people who were like super dope. And like I said, that party was all the time. I met MIA at that party too. Like, I literally, yeah. So I came downstairs and I met Maya that night. I was so starstruck. I was like, what the fuck? And she was so kind and like just took a picture with me, was like super nice, was chilling in the booth or whatever. But at Jillian's party, that was the first time that I met Maya. And she, like I said, she had legitimately the first scenester like party for that scene. And then Flosstradamus like came with their party, Get Out the Hood. But by the time Flosstradamus was doing Get Out the Hood, we was already doing our thing with shit. So as much as like I did that party and like I was wanting to be a part of what they were doing, they kind of didn't want us to be a part of what they were doing because we were, I guess it just wasn't enough room.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the star power that you and Nigel are together.
Facts.
It's competition in a way, you know?
It is. It absolutely is. But I will say this though. I felt like early on, Flosstradamus most definitely were trying to get them a rapper. And I thought that they were going to do it through Nigel. Nigel was throwing, like, he was helping these guys throw their party at they had a party at Town Hall Pub called Get Out the Hood.
Yeah.
And it was in Boys Town. And just being a young, insecure kid, you don't want your Black friends to like, oh, you party in Boys Town. And it's like literally that, it's that much of a discrepancy. Like it's not even in a place where people will just think like New York, like people are cultured. They just hang and know all types of people. Like in Chicago, if you doing something with certain people, you are that.
I think this is 07.
Yes.
Like I like go through the, the photos and flyers, like 2008, 186 events that I either produced, promoted,
that's crazy,
hosted. 2007, 183, 2006, 122, 2009.
Yo, you were grinding. You was on your shit.
I really was. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
and what's really interesting? Just to have the vigor to like put yourself out there so much, like that alone is another challenge itself, because you gotta want to do it. If you don't, it's just not gonna happen. When you thought about parties in New York around like 06 to like 2011, 2012, like it was Sway and Santos. I don't travel as much. And when I did, I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like we were literally at Sway, Rivington Club, and fucking Santos all the time. Every time I went out there, like there would be another, like other, like Studio B was another place that everybody was always at. But I was telling.
Oh, look, this was from Maya's. I don't know.
After party.
Yeah. When did you start DJing for her?
So I started DJing for MIA right after they finished press, doing TV shows and shit. So like Low Budget still did Letterman and some other things with her. But we actually had the same manager. Cool Kids were on tour with MIA, and
I remember that.
Yes, my homie randomly, Mikey, he called me and he was like, yo man, we on this tour with Maya. She's looking for a new DJ and I had recommended you, of course, because you dope and shit, but is it something that you be interested in doing? I was like, hell fucking yeah, like let's go. And I was super appreciative to Mikey for that. Like till this day, like I'll always give him props for that.
I don't know if you remember this, but this was the flyer for the after party. And I had like,
that's crazy,
like 20 people in my little ass apartment folding paper planes before the show. And then at the end of the show, when Paper Planes came on, we threw these into the audience, and this was the flyer for the after party. But I don't know if anyone got the memo, but
that was the Brooklyn show.
Yeah.
So I played that show. Played that show. I met Susan Sarandon at that show. So random. So fucking random. She was like, "Oh my gosh, my kids are such fans. You're so cute." I was like, thanks. Another random time. So y'all, me and Roxy, we went to dinner. I forgot who came with us too. We went to Nobu. I told you I wanted to go to Nobu, and right before you came, Harvey Keitel literally walks out, and I was like, holy shit, the wolf. And he was like, hey man, he was like, how's it going? Take care. And I was like,
I remember.
And he just walked past, and then you and your friend came in. I was like, dude, Harvey Keitel just fucking went by. But y'all be used to that shit because the New Yorker. Did you ever fuck with Mother Horse?
No.
They did a party at Home Sweet Home.
Oh,
and, yeah, and that was actually the first scenester, like hipster party I played in New York.
Really?
Yeah, and guess who else played that party too?
Who?
Red Fox.
What?
Yeah.
I just talked to Julian.
Yeah, Julian. Yo, that's
internet.
my dude. So crazy. God. And A-Track came out there to see us both play. It was so fucking random.
What? Wait,
yeah.
What year was that? That must have been like 06.
Yeah, it was early on. And so check this.
Wow.
This girl that I was cool with, she was this guy that she worked for was PR. He was Yoko Ono's PR and a few other famous people. And he ended up taking his clients and going to another PR firm. And she was always trying to like get him to do PR for me. But I ended up meeting this kid. He didn't fuck with me, but I ended up meeting this other kid through her name, Bushy. And Bushy was so legit. Like, this dude's from Philly. And
even Bush, yes, he's the man.
Yeah, Bushy, that's my man. So Bush, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna keep it real for real with you. Bushy put the internet on to me. Like, he basically was like my champion with these blogs. And no, for real, like, he was like sending my remixes and shit to everybody.
That's
like,
I love that dude. Even Dances with White Girls.
Frog, my man, yes sir.
And Julian both were like, yes. Bushy, you need to talk to Bushy. And like, I know him from Philly. We go all the way back before I was Roxy Cottontail. Like, I've known him for forever. He was like the low key influencer before even shit was
before influencer was one.
Yeah.
Air Max in the club hustling. Like, that dude was super legit. And you know what's even full story? I go to Philly when I did Watch the Throne, and I invited him to the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I know he was even like just blown away to see that. Like, look, like, because he's older than me too, so I know he's looking like, dang, little bro really came up.
That's dope, yo. That's like good. Like, I don't know. It's just like full circle karma and like
absolutely 150%, 150%.
People are telling me I put them onto Twitter.
And you did. Yo.
Did I put you onto Twitter too?
No, listen to me.
Oh.
I think you told me to either get Twitter or Instagram. It was one of them.
It wasn't Insta. I was on Insta. It was.
It may have been Twitter then, because I remember you like just like really being on some like, yo, you need to get on Twitter. That's crazy you said that, because now I remember it.
Because I remember when the cool kids, myself and Amanda, were on the cover of Herb magazine.
Herb, yep.
And Herb, that South by that year, I think it was 07, they were like, we want you to tweet for us. And I was like, what? And they're like, make an account, but you're going to tweet for Herb about like where you're going, what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know why anyone would want to know that, but okay. And so I started tweeting, and then after I, of course, was addicted, and then said, y'all need to get on Twitter, everyone, and it was like kind of like I don't even go on there anymore, which is wild, because it was like our first group text.
No, it most definitely was. I'll say that a lot of it's crazy because a lot of people from like the holler boards and shit, they were AIM heads too.
Yes.
I was using AIM like a motherfucker.
Do you know that this is crazy. I saved AIM conversations. And I go to open them, and because there's no AIM software that exists anymore, you can only open it as a text file.
Oh, wow.
And it's so encrypted that for me to like read what was being said, and I only saved arguments. So,
me too.
I think us being the first generation to really have the web at our fingertips and connect the dots to each city that we all connected to and intertwined with, it was like, I discovered Juke because of that. I discovered the hyphy from the Bay. I discovered Screw from Houston. But it was also interesting because Chuck said how, when like trading MP3s became a thing, and I was always like, let me get that remix, or you were so cool to be like, if I like something you played, to be like, can I get it? And I'm like, of course you can have it. Like, I'm not going to be stingy with my music. I want everyone to like feel this vibe.
And also when we were DJing, and our like when we were like really getting like cross paths of like going to different cities and what have you, when it wasn't just on a local part, Serato was also rising as well. And it totally changed how things were, because before that, a lot of dance music was very rare and hard to get on vinyl. Especially being in Chicago, like they had Dance Mania, which was a label in Chicago Tracks.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a lot of distributors that were pressing up these records for people. And Godfather and a few people had distribution out of Detroit, but there was no real like key place for this subgenre of music. And I really feel like the internet opened it up for people to be able to enjoy this thing that was like just waiting and was like so niche for a while. Like Roxy, it's even at the point now where I can make a club song and it can be an actual song that you can hear on the radio too. Well, let me ask you, what was there like a like pretentiousness to the DJs that you saw you having to come up with when they saw you DJing, like using vinyl? Because you were at a point where you even started before there was Serato.
Yeah. No, I started on vinyl. I feel like it was AM, like he's Muhammad Ali of DJing. But
Yeah,
I remember people putting stickers over
Mm-hmm.
the vinyl record so you couldn't figure out what it was.
Absolutely.
So
And they started doing that on Serato too.
Yes, there was like the code that you entered so that you couldn't read what the person was playing.
Yep. That's so crazy. No,
I forgot about that. No one's mentioned that yet. And that's a good call because like haters.
Yo, facts.
Do you remember this?
Man, holy shit.
At Tribeca Grand.
Where was it?
CMJ at Tribeca Grand.
Oh, that's what I was. Yeah, man. I used to love the fucking CMJ. Oh man, the CMJ.
I know we did one. So yeah, I know we also did one with Donis too, but I don't know where that was.
That was the place that was like silver.
Oh, 205. Yeah.
205. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
Do you remember this?
Yep. Hey girl, hey. Yep. I have this flyer too.
This party was legendary. We got rained out, and I don't know what time your set was supposed to be, but we were me and my girls were all rolling on ecstasy.
Holy shit.
All the hey girls were out of our minds.
I'm trying to think of what venue was this at?
This was at the plunge pool at the Gansevoort.
Man, I kind of remember this pool party too.
But this so it's hazy for me because I was so far gone, but it also rained. So at one point we had to move the party into the lobby. I do know that you DJ'd, but I think we were already on top of the roof, and maybe you didn't see the antics going on. But Frog mentioned he said he and Jillionaire came up onto the rooftop. This is after we had moved the party from the lobby back up onto the roof after the rain.
Right.
Paloma was wearing high heels in the pool, and I think everyone was topless. And Frog had to go catch a flight, and he told me, he was like, I remember coming up there and everyone was topless, and I knew that I had to get out or it was gonna be a problem. Like,
yo, I remember this now. Like, it's so foggy, but I really remember.
We're gonna wrap it up because I know we gotta go produce more hit records.
Yes, indeed.
Some songs that stick out for you as being like personifying that era.
The Rapture, Done Gonna Do It. Cut Copy Birthday Boys Noise remix. I don't know if it's between $1 Million Mano, They Know, and Poison. Because
your remixes.
Yeah, because those were like those remixes did so much more like good damage that I just did not think that people were going to take on to them. They were just so bootleg, like in a rush job. And now that I look back at some of them, I'm like, man, I could have made that so much better. But
Oh, stop.
no,
that's probably what made it like appeal, because it was like scrappy and hard. You know what I mean?
That's my OCD to it. It's like I really like am a perfectionist. Okay. Also, hold on, you got to see this. That was at the Grammys. I took my mom 2015. She was my date. I didn't get hardware for both of the Grammys that I got. I got 2 Grammys. One for Beauty Behind the Madness album. They give you these certificates if you have a percentage on the album, and this one is for Starboy. And when you get nominated for Album of the Year, you get this certificate and you get this Tiffany's Grammy pendant.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
beautiful.
And
this is amazing.
When this happened, 7 million, I was tweaking. And my friend told me, he literally was like, Mano, you gonna go diamond. And I did not believe him. I was like, whatever. We did Starboy. I did Reminder on here. And I did False Alarm, which is a pop song. That went platinum as well. And
crazy. Look,
finally,
diamond.
This.
Wow.
Yeah. Presented Emmanuel Mano Nickerson to commemorate RIA Diamond certification of more than 10 million copies of the Republic EXO Records single The Hills. It's really big too, Roxy.
Yeah, why is it still in the plastic wrap?
Because I had to take it around so many places with me when I'm actually doing an interview.
Yeah.
And I had to put it back in the box. But you're one of the first people that I've revealed it to. I haven't even put it on my IG or anything like that.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, and thank you for just being the awesome, creative friend and just part of this culture. And we're always here to give you your flowers and to let you know how legitimate everything that you and an artist that came from our time put in this shit to make with a lot of things that are going on now, like thrive.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I'm even gonna be real myself and say this, like being a Black man joining this this like scene, like in like this undertone of like, okay, we fuck with your music, but there's not a lot of like your skin tone here. And I had to even be in a space of comfortability with myself to say that I belong, because there was an insecurity back then for me to think that like, man, am I too Black to be a part of this scene? And I felt like a lot of the music was being used as a party favor to some degree when people outside of the scene that were coming into the scene that were seeing like the cash grab. And you know, that's very important to speak on, because like I said, I purposely even did like doing those juke remixes and doing Be More Club remixes. Like I did like just remixes of like Rapture and what was it, Digitalism, and like I felt like doing certain things like that would show the time and the effort like put into like these records, and it not just being like the uniqueness that we were saying earlier. Like if you go back and you listen to like my Rapture Don't Go and Do It remix, like that shit is still super dope to this day. Like I can like appreciate the tonal quality that I had to make intelligent dance music.
On that note,
peace. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. It fills me with joy to see your success and just like all your hard work coming to fruition, and it's so cool.
Thank you so much. Like you said, it's hard and smart work, and man, I'm just glad that the people who have seen it from the beginning, they get to be like, yeah, told you so, told you he was cold, told you.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. Likewise. Take it easy, be safe out there, and thank you so much again.
Thank you. All right, bye, honey.
Peace.
Thanks for hopping by. That's it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and stalk. Bounce, little kitty.